Hey guys, it's Sunday, so it's time for my mental health vlog. This is week 32, I'm pretty sure. This is going to be a good one, and I've had a really good week, and I'm in a really good place. And so this week I met with my therapist on Thursday. She said she's really proud of the work that I've done over the past couple of weeks, and that meant a lot to me. And found a new psychiatrist. I will be meeting with them on Tuesday. A lot of y'all know that I've not been happy with my psychiatrist. He's been his accent is very thick. He's very hard to understand. I don't feel comfortable talking to him. And it's important to have a good relationship with your psychiatrist and your therapist. So my therapist recommended someone who I found out does take my insurance, and I was able to get an appointment, a virtual appointment for Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. So I'm very excited about that. I've done a lot of soul searching. I've done a lot of work on me, and I'm in a really good place. So hopefully this will be a good vlog. Met with my sponsor and did a little bit of work on my first step, and he recommended that I listen to a book called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. The book focuses a lot on vulnerability and shame, and how it impacts our lives. And I have a lot of great notes that I took from the book, because I've already finished it, that I wanted to share with y'all, because I think that they're pertinent to my story, but they might also be helpful to y'all. So I want to read a couple of those to y'all. The first one that I wrote down is, you fight shame by sharing it with those you feel worthy to hear it. And I think that that's what I'm doing with this and with y'all. I feel that my friends are worthy, and I need to share my shame in order to fight it. So that's what I've been doing with y'all, and I have found this vlog helpful. I've gone back and watched some of my old videos, and I've seen where I was, and I see where I am now, and I'm in a good place. Something else that I wrote down was, if you own your story, you can write the ending. I spend so much time hiding and making excuses for things, and I have to accept the fact that my life is what it is. I have done bad things, and I have to own my story so that I can write my own ending. So I found that very helpful. I've been really hard on myself, and I've been putting myself in boxes. A lot of y'all have seen that I've been trying to post daily something that I am in this journey of self-discovery, and I've been struggling some days to come up with something, and I think a lot of that is I'm trying to put myself in boxes that I'm not. I mean, I might be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or I might be growing, I might be changing, and that's absolutely okay. So where I'm going to continue trying to identify things that I am, I'm not going to be so hard on myself and trying to put myself into a box that may not completely fit. My vulnerability is a strength. I think by doing these, I have been vulnerable, and I'm not afraid of being vulnerable. I'm not doing it to garner attention or sympathy, but putting myself out there in the hopes that, one, y'all can follow my journey with me, but two, if someone else is struggling, I might be able to provide some insight or offer a little bit of a story that may help them as well. And I do see my vulnerability as a strength now, whereas before I may not have. But I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of what I'm doing. Respond to shame with awareness, self-compassion, and empathy, not being pissed off or shut down. In the book, she talks about how men respond to shame one of two ways, either being pissed off or shutting down. And looking back at my history, that's pretty damn accurate. So I'm definitely working on how I respond to shame. She also talked a lot about raising children, in an element of how a lot of people use shame as a parenting technique. And I think my dad did that a lot. And I never really learned to cope with shame. There's a difference between shame and guilt. I mean, that's like saying you're a bad person or you've done something bad. And I think my dad, and I don't blame him for this because it was the way he may have been raised, I think that he used shaming a lot in his parenting techniques, which is a form of trauma that I may not have ever really managed or adjusted to. And by me managing that was me acting out and with my addiction. So I think it's really important that I caught that, and I wanted to write that down because it was so important to me. Talk to yourself the same way you would talk to someone you love. So often we're so hard on ourselves, and we would say things to ourselves like, "Oh my God, why did you do that? You're so stupid," or we get really, really down on ourselves. And no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not a bad person, and I may do bad things, but I'm not a bad person. And I'm going to talk to myself a little bit better. I'm going to treat myself a little bit better. And I think that that was a huge step in the growth that I've been going through. Let's see, something else I wrote down. No one is ever able to part with survival strategy without significant support and developing new strategy. And I think that that's pretty critical. I need help. I need support. I need my friends. I need my support. Ooh, that didn't hurt your tail? I need my friends. I need my support group, and I need to work on new strategies for managing shame, because my survival strategies so far have not worked, and that a lot of that had to do with my sexual addiction. So working on that. Mind the gap. Pay attention to the area between where we were, and where we want to go. That's where I am right now. I'm in that gap. I'm in that area between where I was and where I want to go. And it's an important journey. So pay attention to it and focus on the things that you're learning, and reflect on what you're learning, and reflect on what's changing, and reflect on the growth that you've done. So mind the gap. Shame causes us to disengage. When we disengage, we don't show up, we don't contribute, and we stop caring. I had to listen to that line 3 or 4 times before it really sunk in, because I was doing a lot of that. I was disengaging. I was disengaging in my relationship with my husband. I was disengaging with my life, and I was acting out. I wasn't contributing to the marriage anymore, and I won't say I stopped caring, because I never stopped caring, but I stopped caring that the bad things I was doing could hurt someone else. And that is something that shame can cause. So, again, it's important that I notated that, and I absorbed it, and I know that when I become the person that I want to be, or when I don't want to say become the person I want to be, when I work on myself, I will attract the right kind of person, and I will be able to contribute and to be vulnerable, and I will attract that right kind of relationship that works for me and works for them. And so I'm not worried about being single right now. I'm just focusing on managing the shame that I've got in my past. This book was really great, y'all, called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. And the last thing that I wrote: discomfort is part of growth. If you're not feeling discomfort, you're not learning. And with everything that I've written down, I wholeheartedly agree with that. This isn't comfortable. Going to meetings is not comfortable. Admitting that I have a life of shame is not comfortable. Managing my shame is not comfortable. But I'm learning, and that's the point. I'm learning about me. I'm learning about the processes. I'm really learning about me. There's a lot of stuff that I've just pushed under the rug, or figured that it's normal, or that's just how life is, and that's not the case. It's just my coping mechanisms have never been effective. So this is uncomfortable, but it's my journey, and I'm happy with my journey. Sometime last week, I talked about having that aha moment where I was just okay. I was over it with my relationship, and with my relationship with my ex-husband. And it really is. It was just kind of that poof moment where, after 6 months of grieving, even while having a boyfriend, I was still grieving my loss. After 6 months of grieving my loss, there was this acceptance, and there was this brightness on the horizon. There was this sunshine. There was this. I'm still sad. I'm still sad that my marriage is over and my family's dynamic is different, but I've accepted it, and that to me was huge. It's completely changed me every day. I don't feel now when someone asks me how I'm doing, if I'm saying I'm okay or I'm great, that I don't feel like I'm lying. I feel like I'm great. This is a great place to be. I'm. I had a friend once. I used to work with at onvia.com. His name is Craig. Every day, when you asked him how he was, his response was the same every day. I've never had a better day. And that is something that stuck with me for years. I never understood how he could never have a better day. But it was that level of optimism and that self-decision that this day might not be the best day, but it's going to be a great day. And he will never know how impactful that was for me. And that I look back on it now and I'm like, I want that. I want to be able to respond to people with, I've never had a better day and it's going to be a great day. And I feel like I have this whole new sense of optimism and hope. And I know I've still got a long way to go on my journey, but damn it, for the first time, I'm happy to be on it. And I think the point I want to make is wherever you are in your journey, and it might be a really dark spot. A couple of weeks ago, I had a really dark spot. But no matter where you are in your journey, as long as you keep moving and as long as you stay on that journey, you will get to the point where you have those aha moments, or you have that sense where you can see the sun on the horizon, or you'll get there. You'll get there. And it's hard work and it's uncomfortable, but you'll get there. I promise you. Stay on your journey and you'll get there. I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And I can see the sun on the horizon. And it's a good place to be. So, I went a little over this week. Sorry, but I really had a lot to say this week. I love you guys. I really do. I mean that. Every one of you is on my friends list because you're important to me. And for those of you that are watching this on YouTube that I don't know, you're important too. So thank you for listening. Have a great day. Take care of your friends. Take care of your loved ones. Most importantly, take care of yourself. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.